So we got release date is June 17th, which is 2 weeks from Tuesday, from tomorrow. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. All right, new Arathi Highlands campaign. I don't really particularly care too much about the campaign, but for those who do, there is a new campaign coming out. Go Lorewalking with Lorewalker Cho. Players level 10 and above can speak with Lorewalker Cho in Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and Dornogal for a renewed questing experience. You'll step back into some iconic lore moments in Azeroth with both previous quests and a few new ones. There are 3 available repeatable quest chains. Okay. So new way to level. I think there was rumors that the leveling bump, like the percentage increase, was coming back. So that might be true. Pretty cool that they're bringing in new quests to level on. I think that the leveling experience in retail is so fast and so kind of just rushed. But if you do like the questing part of it, then that's pretty cool that they're bringing in some new quests. Now we got delves for the mole people. Overcharged delves. Things are about to become even more dangerous in delves for you and Brand. We're introducing a new delve specific affix to 6 delves to push you to new feats of heroism. Okay. So they're adding affixes to these delves. You'll engage with rare new enemies, more traps, and unlock traits. Okay. This is the big one, the Titan Disc Belt. That is like kind of essentially Cersei's circlet, but in belt form. So if you worried about your belt or you're thinking about crafting a belt, don't bother. This thing's gonna come out, and this is gonna be what everybody uses. New UI option. Oh, here we're getting the single button assistance. Okay. The combat assistance is basically Achille, for those who don't know. Achille is a rotation helper, so it lights up the next ability that you should be using, ideally in whatever API they decide to use, which I think they should just be using Achille's API, because I think that players know more about the classes and the devs do. That's what it feels like sometimes, at least. So this is coming out, and also the single button rotation's coming out. So this is going to be a reduction on, or an increase, I guess, on your global cooldown. I think it's like 1.3 seconds instead of 1 at like the base. And it'll just automatically, like, you just click one button and it'll cast different abilities. So basically you turn this on, you put it on your action bar, and then you just hit the button over and over again and nothing else, and there you go. I'm curious to see how many people actually use it. I know that a lot of people will probably try it out just out of curiosity, and there'll definitely be some content creation around it of like full raids with it and stuff, but I think it's a good and bad thing. I think it's really good for like accessibility for people who want to play the game who might not be able to, but I also think it puts like a weird pressure on some people that if you're trying to learn a class, or if you're like having fun playing a class, even if you're not playing it well and you're in like a raid scenario, you might be pressured to use this if you're not performing. And I think that that's a kind of a bad side effect of it. If you want to use it, like, go for it, but if you're forced to use it, that's a whole different thing. All right, now we got the Turbulent Timeways. Beginning the week of June 18th, we're refreshing Turbulent Timeways with the addition of Battle for Azeroth in the rotation. So is this Timewalking? Yeah, so we'll have new Timewalking dungeons to take. Atal Dazar, Freehold, King's Rest. Dude, King's Rest was a nightmare when it was out. Friend of the Storm, Temple of Selthralis, and Waycrest. I like Waycrest Manor. I think Waycrest Manor was actually like a fun dungeon. I don't know if other people liked it, but I thought it was good. I also like Shadowlands though, so I think I have a weird taste. The Greedy Emissary returns the week of 2 July. I keep on, my brain wants to say it right, but my eyes are trying to read it the way it's read. Not say it right, but say it like an American. We're bringing back the Greedy Emissary event. During this event, you'll be able to encounter even more of these deviously greedy emissaries in Stormwind, Orgrimmar, and Dornogal, and Undermine for new diabolical rewards, including a mount. So if you're farming mounts, that's not bad. You won't want to miss some truly iconic rewards, including recolors of classic tier 2 armor sets. That's actually kind of sick, dude. the Paladin Judgment armor being red and black. That's actually sick. And then we got Death Knight, Hunter, Mage. Those are all kind of bland sets. That Monk one is sick, having it be red instead of green. The Evoker set might as well just be a dragon standing there with nothing on because it's irrelevant. That's a pretty cool Shaman set though. I like that. Let's see. I think the Warrior set looks good. Steward set looks good. And I don't really remember what the original one looks like. And I thought that was a Fire Mage at first, but that's a cool looking preset. That Rogue one looks cool. I don't like it on Trolls, but I think that all black is kind of cool for Rogues. Lock set's cool. Yeah. All right. So that's about it for 11.7. Doesn't seem like there's like a ton of new stuff. I think we're getting Dastardly Duos at one point too. But I think the Overcharged Delves, the new belt, that's pretty big. And then how we're gonna see reactions to the combat assistant and the single button assistant. I honestly think that the combat assistant is fine. I've used Achille to like learn new specs. But if you're using it as a learning tool, then it's good. If you're using it to just follow it blindly without understanding what's going on, then I think it becomes bad. So if you're gonna use this, go for it, but understand why things are working. So Dastardly Duos, if I remember correctly, is kind of like Brawler's Guild. It was announced in 11.5, but 11.5 was like or 11.15. Okay, so it's a 5-person instance. In this event, players will be pitted against animatronic versions of past bosses and fight for glory. With the first week of this event, 4 bosses will be available to fight. Each additional week, the event will add additional bosses with a total of 10 bosses to face throughout the event. So it feels like it's a dungeon that like you go in and you try to kill as many bosses as possible, up to 10 bosses. There's going to be one in Dornogal, an Org, Stormwind. I thought you could watch this. Okay, so you can get a mount from it. Winner's Podium. I feel like mounts pretty cool. Other rewards don't seem to be too crazy. This is the mount. It's pretty cool. It's like it looks like a naked turtle. All right, gameplay. So there's a preparation stage. Players can queue into Dastardly Duos of 5 players. Any unfilled spots will be filled with volunteers, which function identically to follow. Okay, so they're NPCs. It doesn't look like you need an eye level for it. It looks like you can queue it solo as a follower dungeon, or you can queue it with people. Or you can enter it by yourself. You can dismiss the volunteers and enter it on your own. Additional food options can be ordered by talking to the servant. From there, players have a choice of which food they want in the next instance of Dastardly Duos. Strength and power, toughness and fortitude, challenge. Okay, so it looks like there's like specific buffs. Oh, here we go. Increased damage done by 15%, decreased damage taken by 15%. It's like a tank one. Damage done or decreased damage done by 40% and increased damage taken by 40%. But you get a bonus to surviving and killing things, so it makes it harder, but you get a bonus out of it. Physical damage taken reduced by 80%, magical damage taken reduced by 40%, damage done reduced by 40%, threat generation increased by 600%. So they're clearly aware of the threat issue. And I feel like they're doing a little test run on food in this to see if a threat food is something. Challenging hot dog. 2-time kill and survival bonus, but sometimes leaves acid puddles on the ground and creates a large knockback effect for yourself and enemy. That sounds terrible, but it's supposed to be a challenge. Vial of healing, 8% health every 2 seconds. That's kind of crazy. Go invisible and 20%. All right, so you can get these buffs before you go in, and then once players approach the entrance gate to the arena, a pop-up will ask if players are ready to enter. Yes starts a timer. Towards the top of your UI, a display showcasing a group's overall score along with the time they have remaining, which will contribute to the bonus score once all enemies in the arena have been defeated. The instance starts with a typical dungeon and elite mobs, and then will feature 2 animatronic bosses at the end. Okay, so you go in, and you have to it's a dungeon. You clear mobs to get to the bosses at the end. It feels like challenge dungeons from like Mob. except like there's ways to like get like you don't have the equal eye level, but there's like buffs and stuff like that. But it feels kind of similar to challenge dungeons, getting a score at the end of it. Okay, there are a few ways for players to earn bonus scores during their runs. During the fight, interactable items called cherry bombs can be found throughout the arena, which have a large green circle around them. Right-clicking a bomb kicks it in the direction of the player it's facing. Any trash or bosses defeated with a cherry bomb will net the player double score. Okay. Other bonus to scores include using a burner clock, big burner clock, and challenge shrimpy fish. So they're kind of the food. All right, let's see what the rewards are. So the item level rewards you get. Completing an instance of Dastardly Duos rewards a prize containing a Warbound veteran track gear. So it's vet gear. With each weekly event, Mini Sweets will drop a weekly quest that rewards players with Dastardly prize purse that contains champion track gear. Okay, so every week you can get a champ track from it. There's some toys. There's a beanball bag, and that's pretty much it. So it doesn't seem like it's centered around like giving us new gear, but more so just like a personal challenge or like a group challenge, see if you can do it. And probably really good for alts. Yeah, it seems cool. I'll definitely give it a shot. I'm curious to see like if they add anything to it, because right now with how far we are in, it's like I don't see a lot of people doing it for any gear. This probably should have came out earlier. I feel like would have been really cool, but now everybody is it's great for alts, but I feel like the majority of people who are still playing are fairly geared right now. But I'm curious to see how hard it's actually going to be. I know there's people in my guild who do like was it 8 mask runs on horrific vision and stuff like that. So people will do it. That's 100%. It might not be for me, but I'll definitely give it a shot. But yeah, that seems to be what's I don't know when this is exactly releasing. I don't think it's releasing in the same June 3rd, so tomorrow, and we'll end July 15th. Okay, so this is really, yeah, so it's gonna run for like a little over a month starting tomorrow. So tomorrow we get Dastardly Duos, and then in 2 weeks we get 11.7. I'm curious if 11.7 is going to come with any class changes, because there hasn't been any class changes recently. So I'm assuming that you need eye level from this. if you get, yeah, you probably don't need to have a high eye level if you're getting vet gear. The plus side is it's a pretty easy way, or maybe not easy, but it's a quick way to get vet gear on an alt by yourself, because you can have the followers come and help you. So what is heroic gear released as? Because if heroic's vet gear, then you might be better off as far as like time, just going through and doing the Dastardly Duos, because you can do it by yourself and you can just spam it. Because it says that every time you finish it, you get vet gear. Completing the instance rewards a prize chest. Yeah, so every time you do it, you get a piece of vet gear. So for alts, it's probably really good. And then getting a champion piece in the every week, you should be able to kind of spam this, get full vet gear, probably get you into like the low mythics or looking for group, maybe even normal, and then just go from there. So I'll definitely give it a shot tomorrow. I'm not like a big toy collector or mount collector, but I think it's kind of cool. All right, let's see if we've got what's it called? Anything to queue into.